doing that to you.
No, you're right.
Welcome again to Thursday Night Live with Those Two Sisters. Tonight, so you guys know that we like to discuss various different, I guess that's redundant, but we like to discuss different topics each Thursday. We want to put a little bit of current things that are going on, and sometimes we'll include like little warning things. Did I play last week? Did I play that clip of the girl talking about she got poisoned?
I'm so sorry. That's my phone. Wait, you said?
Did I play the clip last week of the girl that said that she got poisoned by a napkin on her car?
No, we were gonna talk about it, but I don't think the clip was played.
Because so we'll share things like that. But most of all, we're just over here, two sisters having sister conversations. So jump in, comment in the chat, like the video, subscribe. Feel free to share the video as well. Anyway, welcome, sister. I have talked a lot already, so welcome.
Welcome, everyone. What a week. I'm gonna ask you how your week is, but I'm just gonna jump in here because this is not an official topic, but one of the things that I realized that I am experiencing is, it's not burnout, but like when anybody who has like a 9-to-5 job and they're responsible for showing up to work is going to take that seriously. It's like a big deal. It's your responsibility. It's your bread and butter. But as I've been going on my like entrepreneurial endeavors, and then just trying to be consistent with that, and that's already hard in itself. But then I've started to, even gain more confidence in myself, and I'm feeling this sort of way when it's time to go to work. It's almost like, and I actually enjoy my work.
Oh man, I got to do this.
Like, okay, now I got to stop with my creative mind and go into my like analytical mind so that I can, but I mean, I know it's all for a purpose. And I actually, to be honest, this is like the most fun I've ever had at a job. I like this. I like this work that I'm doing, and I like my coworkers. Like I normally like my coworkers. Like I can't say that I've ever been in a place where I was just like, I hate these people. But but I can say on my specific team,
I don't work there now, but I've definitely been there.
Yeah. On my specific team, though, like I literally have respect and love for every single person on the team. So that's kind of rare. Hey, Ellen. Hey, Gwendolyn. But yet and still, and I mean, like I'm doing okay for myself. But yet and still, when it's time to like switch out of like, creative mode, like, even if it's like doing research, because a lot of times I'll find myself in a research hole for like 3-4 hours, like figuring out about audio and lighting and stuff like that.
One thing leads to another, and it's so exciting. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
I'll be like, look, I was telling somebody.
Did you just do this?
I was telling somebody, I can't remember who it was, but like you are not going to get the ideas that you need to be successful unless you start doing the thing, whatever the thing is. Like it's like on a road trip. Like you're not going to really know all the detours before you get off the couch because somebody can have an accident after you leave. You're just gonna pop up on your GPS, but you're gonna be already on the road. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like then you get another idea. Oh, I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah.
Find something that you've been looking for, or be in an area that you're like, oh, that's what this is. Something like that. But it's like, research. I love watching documentaries and interviews and just like two people that I think are intelligent talking. Like you never know what comes out of those conversations. I'll be like,
exactly. And what hits you as an idea? Because that's one of the things about having one of those great conversations with people or witnessing one. It's like their idea becomes another idea and that becomes a discussion. And that discussion brings up another idea. It's similar to what you're saying. It's like when you actually venture off the couch to start whatever it is that you're passionate about, you come across challenges, you come across questions. And then when you come across those could be new opportunities, especially if you're really interested in the thing and you see like, oh, this problem needs to be solved. Like, I mean, I feel like that's how Uber came about. I don't really know. I tried to watch that movie about how Uber came about, but I couldn't finish it, even though I love Jason Gordon Hewitt, whatever his name is, the guy from They're Rough from the Sun. Jason Gordon,
Oh,
Jason.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to. Oh, I may look
It
that
was
up.
actually it was pretty good in the beginning, but somewhere I got lost. It might have been one of those late nights. You know, I can't be watching movies late night because I'll
Yeah.
just fall asleep. But it doesn't matter what's
I
happening.
told somebody that too. I was like, all of the movies that I go see, unless I'm chilling at home or whatever, that's cool. But when I go out to the movies, for some reason now, I just be like, low lights, cold theater. It just means
Oh,
good night, and then I
snuggle
see
up,
the
good
credits
night.
rolling.
Now I remember it's not a movie, it's a show. And that's what it was. I probably
Of
watched
how
like the
Uber was
first two or
created.
three episodes. And then I was like, okay, this is cool, but I've got to live my life. I probably got
I mean, but yeah, that's how you make a
Hey Monique.
successful business is answering a problem, like answering somebody's problem, finding
Yeah.
a solution to somebody's problem. You know what I mean?
So
And
and that could be sorry, go ahead.
no, I cut you off, but I
That
was
could
just
be the
saying, I agree.
solution to what I'm going through with working. I don't dislike the work, but I think I need to find the love in it again, where it's something that I'm just like excited about because as I'm
Well,
working
no,
on my
wait for a
stuff,
second. Let me ask you a question though. Are you making yourself? Are you trying to make yourself be rejuvenated about it, or are you like? Because I mean, at some point, if you have a creative thing that you want to do over here, some point it's gonna have to come to a point where one of them has to be
yeah,
planned to phase out. Because
yeah.
why would you say, okay, well, yeah, I like what I do and it's fine or whatever, but I really want to do this, but I'm gonna really try hard to do better at this that I really can. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And I'm just
more
gonna
so.
still let this sit over here.
Well, no, I'm not going to replace what I'm doing. This is really just a plot to get excited about doing what I have to do for the moment. So
Okay.
I don't want to go through the weeks and the days thinking like, here we go. I got to do this, right? I
Mhm.
want to be able to say, okay, this is for a purpose, and luckily for me, there have been a few opportunities for me to mesh the two. So I kind of like look
Mhm.
forward to those. I have another one coming up where I'm doing like a session with our team on
Right.
the
The
stuff that I
Bujo
love
stuff.
to do. So that's pretty exciting. But and I mean and I'm lucky to have that because some people
Well, okay.
can't mesh the two.
But look, you okay, so you already were into the Bujo stuff, the planner stuff, right?
Yes.
You were doing that anyway for free. You like it,
Yeah.
you love it, right? And
Can't
now you
can't
have
get over
a
that.
job where you've been able to incorporate it,
Yeah.
but that kind of was you setting that up because you used those methods to do your job.
That's
So
so true.
you did that, right? Like obviously with the help of God, God made sure that you had everything all
Yes.
together and in the right place in the right time. But like that is what you should focus on. How many
Yeah, I
more
think
of
that's it.
what I
You're
really want
right.
to do can I incorporate with my job since I've already done this one thing? So clearly there might be something else. You know what I mean? You gotta so what I'm saying is you're not looking at saying, oh, I want to be happy about this again. You're
Mm-mm.
looking at a mindset shift to be happy about what you really want to do. Because
Yes.
eventually,
Well,
like I said, that's going to take over because it's going to be like, well, I'm doing all this here, so that's the road. Anyway, let me
no,
get off.
I'm with you. And I actually had a conversation with myself today because I find myself like I'm really impatient, but I find myself like, well, when's it gonna do this? And it's like you still have so far to go, but just keep at it because I love every minute of it. So it's cool. But anyway, that was my week. I was just kind of like not lost, but I was thinking about that this week. Like, okay, I can't keep this up. So I need to change some things. But anyway, how was your week?
My week was good. I mean, just regular challenges of the same thing you're talking about because you got one thing that you really want to do, and piggybacking off of what you said, it's like I have to stop what I'm doing, what I really want to do to go here. I don't feel the same about my job as you feel about your job. Like they're cool people, you know what I mean? But if you ask me, um, would I rather just see them from afar, I would say yes. Love
Yeah,
you
I
guys,
got you.
but you guys understand. Anyway, But yes, I mean, I think that right now I'm really going to a point like I've been doing my workouts and I'm consistent in these. Listen. I knew that one day, and I always knew it would be when I was in my 40s, that one day some switch was gonna flick in my mind and be like, you on constant get it together mode, meaning you're serious about your workouts, you're serious about what you're doing or whatever, right? And that's all across anything, not with just the workouts. But I feel like that switch has been flipped because just the workouts alone, it's ridiculous. I haven't had any alcohol in a month. So I'm pretty sure that's helping my performance in there. And I be surprising myself every day. And then I had a conversation with myself and said, look, remember how you used to be with this, and this? Like,
Yes.
I've realized that I have been telling myself I couldn't do certain things for a long
Yeah.
time. And when I say that, I mean, like, for instance, when I was doing those challenges that I was doing were preparing me for this, because I would have not been able to jump in this like I'm doing it if I hadn't had some type of, like, you know, exercise before. Those
Hmm.
exercises was good. Those trainers were good, but this is something on another level because she incorporates it all, right? But anyway, so my point is, I'm really like, I was doing modifications when I didn't need to. I would be like, that looks hard, we're gonna do the modification. And not even out loud. It was just like, I would just wait for them to say what the modification was. I would think, oh, well, we're gonna do that. And so this past month, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try to do whatever they do. And it's this 72-year-old lady in our class. It's the trainers, the lady that owns the gym. It's her mom. We've been trying to keep up with her because
Hello.
if she's going, why am I stopping? You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
tell you
If she's
something. All
doing
right,
it,
now you done hit on something. Let me
but
tell you, because we talked. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I have to jump in on that part.
that's what we do. No.
I told you that we have been. I think we talked about this last week about our morning routines and like going to the gym. Me and James been going to the gym now for about a month and a half, since July 11th. Now we go there in the morning at like 6 o'clock, right when they first open,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to like I love it because you start to see your people all the time. It's like, oh, you're here when I'm here, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it's you again, right? It's like if I went another time I'll probably see a whole different group of people, but every time we go we see I just see like the same people, or I see like some people sometime and
Right.
some people other time. So like when I get there, I'm sure they probably think the same thing about me, like, oh, she's here, I know what she's gonna do. She's gonna do her laps, she's gonna do her bike, and she's gonna try to do some weights. So it's funny because right, I don't be looking at people like that. I be scared if people be looking at me like
I
that.
mean, honestly, if it's a person that is a gym goer, they ain't even paying attention to you. They're trying
No,
to get through their own shit and they're talking themselves through their own workout.
true.
I
But
look
I
back
do.
at the videos and be like, I didn't even see her doing this, and I'll be like, oh, I'm right there. I was paying attention to trying to hold my big ass up in
Me,
this fucking
right.
thing for a minute.
Hello. So my point is that when I go, I see a lot of older people and they be doing it. It's this one lady that I walk on the track and she be walking and she be out walk me, like she laps me at least twice. Like I be like, I'm trying to go. Like I be trying to like walk fast or take long strides or we listen to music. And she be going. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to be like that. And it's this one dude that he'll be running the entire time, like sprinting like for several laps, and I'm like,
Oh, he
I'm
can
not
have
there
that.
yet, but these are older
That's not
people,
even a
I can
goal of
tell
mine.
you. Yeah, what you say?
I said that's not even a goal of mine. He can have that.
Listen, he getting it, and I see a couple older people just like getting it in. I'm like, yeah, this is like,
See,
kind of
that's
like
what
the
I'm saying.
lifestyle I see myself in for
That's
the
what I'm
rest of my
saying. I
life.
was like, some point it's going to flip on me, and I'm going to be like, I'm in here, and I'm creating a
Yeah,
habit. Like, so now for the rest of my life, I'll work out at least 3 days a week. I've been doing
yep.
4 now, but like, I'm sure as I get older, I'm gonna be like, well, I ain't about to do all of that.
Hmm.
But I just, by the time I get, that age, it'll already be ingrained. Like, this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I don't know. I just be feeling like a beast after I leave them classes. And when I say classes, I mean it just means that I meet with the same people, like people, like you said, you got your people or whatever. It's certain people that's on certain days or whatever, and we go in there for a certain time and we do different stuff all the time. Sometimes it's weight, sometimes it's body weight stuff, sometimes it's cardio mixed with other stuff. Like we did this. Have you ever heard of Tabata exercises?
No, I don't think so.
So
Maybe I have, but I don't know. It's
So
not
this is
familiar.
what it is. It's like a circuit. So you do an exercise for 20 seconds and then you rest for 10 seconds. So maybe you have 8 exercises, right?
Oh,
And you
okay.
do like a whole bunch of rounds of that. 20 seconds exercise, 10 seconds rest. 20 seconds exercise, 10 seconds
Okay.
rest. Well, we did 8 rounds, which is probably about like all this is probably about 4 minutes. But we didn't get the rest. She was like, do this exercise that's going to get you out of breath. It's going whatever, make you tired or whatever. And then for the 10 seconds, you're going to do this. You're going to do mountain climbers or you're going to do burpees. So we don't get the rest. So you want me to work out for 4 minutes straight, nigga?
Yeah.
But
Fourth quarter, James said that's his bike exercise. Yeah, he be going like he go real fast and tells him what to do, and then he'll go, and then on the rest part they'll go like medium. I'm like, okay, that's not rest.
yeah, but it gets your heart rate pumping.
Yeah.
It makes you, it kind of speeds up. It's supposed to help speed up your metabolism because you like pumping your heart rate like that on and off, on and off. But when she said we wasn't getting the 10 seconds rest, I realized that after we did it, I realized how long 10 seconds is. Like, I thought I was gonna not make it.
Yeah,
But
no, I feel you. Those are the
anyway, the
best
point
ones.
is like I really, really have created a habit in myself, and I'm not even doing it to lose weight at this point. I'm just doing it to feel better because I feel amazing after that because I've done something like really good for myself, and I don't know, I just be proud of myself or whatever. So like, but that goes along with like the positive self talk because in those during that time that I'm working out, it's a whole bunch of stop. What are we doing? We can't do this. We're not doing that. That looks too hard or whatever. And I have to constantly be like, whenever they say exercise, I'll be like, we could do that. We could do that. Even if I know that I cannot stand that exercise. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
It's
it's
just,
so funny what it does mentally because it's like now you just know you going into your day like or whatever like I can do anything. You know what I mean? It's so funny you mentioned too the lifestyle aspect of it because yeah, I definitely see myself. I'm not doing the intense stuff that you're doing yet, but I definitely see myself like having to exercise as just a means of, starting my day and just having some sense of clarity for the rest
it's
of
how
my
you
life. Like
feel. Like
it's
you feel like
fun.
you did something good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and it
And
feels good.
the more you do, the more you can do. So if whatever is something that you're thinking, oh, I can't do that right now, or like you said, I'm not doing the intense stuff you're doing right now. Well, the more you do, the more you can do. Like I got
Yeah.
2 challenges that I might bring you in on because I'm gonna talk to you about them behind the scenes. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna. They're just fit tests for me because I'm going from August to August, so I'm gonna see what I can do right now, and then I'm gonna do it again as I continue to like work out, right? As I get better or whatever. But the first one is gonna be I'm gonna be some shit. Like I know it already because it's something easy to do, but I know it's gonna be a good video though. So maybe I'll
All
talk
right,
to you
look,
see
I'll
maybe
be
we'll
there.
do
You
it.
tell me when and where to show up, and we'll do it together. I'll do it.
It's so and then it's like
And I'm gonna
accountability
be
too
horrible.
because
I'm gonna be way worse than
I'm
you.
gonna
So you think you're gonna be
do it.
bad?
But no, because the thing is, even if you don't complete, like if somebody says do 10 reps of these and you can only get to 8, you did the best for you. That
Right.
person, yeah, you said 10, but that doesn't okay. If I don't finish the exercise by the time the group moves on, I move on with the group because what am I gonna do? Be 3 exercises behind? You gotta do what you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, don't ever feel like that because of we're all just trying. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want to see what my body can
Yeah.
do. That's the only thing I'm doing. But like I said, I want to be able to run. I want to be able to kick, and I need to be able to like I don't know hop a fence if I need to or some shit. I don't know. But
I
anyway,
know. Look, we talked about this, and now that this girl that I watch on YouTube said it, I can't get it out of my head. Like she was saying, like she's actually a makeup person, face over matter, but she's been on her fitness journey for like a year and some change.
yeah,
And
with the
she
pull
said,
up.
yeah, if you can't pull your body weight up, you're in danger. Like something could happen if you can't pull your body weight up. You know what I mean? I was like, dang, I didn't even think
Listen,
about that.
speaking
Like,
of that, I mean, it helps. So I was just thinking about this one too. I was like, there's so many benefits of being in shape because
Yeah,
I can imagine that sex would be better. Well, I'm not even gonna say I can imagine because I remember when I was
it
in
is.
shape. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying? You can
remember
do
that
more
too.
things. You can hold more positions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I mean, even something as simple as like reaching for something. As you get older, you have those dumbass falls and slips of balance. So exercise
yeah,
helps you with that and hand-eye coordination and stuff like that. But let me just tell you though, I could not do I could not do sit-ups like a couple of weeks ago because I was not doing no sit-ups. But when I was in the military, I could bust out 80 in 2 minutes or whatever the time was that they gave us to do it. That was nothing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But after I didn't have to work out anymore, I just did kickball and I just did like the random activities that I was doing. I never really was serious before I started last year or whatever again. But now after just 3 weeks of like suffering in the positions, trying to do whatever it was that they were actually doing, that I was watching the person in front, right? Even if I couldn't do it, I had to try because the more you do, the more you can do. So now I can do, a couple of sit-ups in a good before I start to look like I'm struggling. I'll still get up there, but the more you do, the more you can do. But yesterday we had to do these things where we sat on the floor with our legs out in front of us and our hands were right here, and then we had to um, kick your leg up straight, each leg up straight, bend the leg in like a bicycle too, like so you doing boom, 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 then lay flat back and sit all the way up. But when you sit up, you snatch your legs up with you. That's one. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
They
So
be
how do
cracking up
you
at me in
remember
there.
all of that? I don't
Huh?
even understand. When I be seeing people do those, exercises, how do you remember all the moves?
You just watch them do it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then
Oh,
you be
like
like,
a
okay, and
dance
the
or
show keep
whatever.
count. But we were not. All of us were struggling in there. You know what I'm saying? We were like,
Yeah.
but they be cracking up at me because every time she says something like that, I was like, that's a 6 point move, and we got to snatch ourselves up and put. You don't want me to just sit up. You want me to sit up while having my legs come up like that? No, I was like, this is crazy. So they always be looking at me whenever they give instructions because I be like, what? But I
Yes.
try everything. I try everything, and I do it until I can't do it no more, and then I move on to whatever it is they talking about doing. I be like exhausted at the end, but then I have more energy. It's crazy. By the time I get home, I'll be like, okay, let me go ahead and do this. Let me do this. Sleep is better. And that's all in like 3 to 4 weeks that I'm feeling that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna keep going, keep doing what
I
I'm
know
doing,
that's right.
and like I said, the more you do, the more you can do. So people that say that they can't do a sit up or they can't, we've all been there. You just have to
You
try.
out here inspiring the world. Monique was just saying this. Demeanor definitely inspires me. I have no willpower. Yeah, I'm on your same boat there, Monique. But I'm definitely giving it my all. So we'll see. And sometimes, I
Just keep
mean,
going.
yeah, sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I don't. But I'm good at 3 times a week. Like 3 times a week, I'm showing up that
Mhm.
many times. You know what I'm saying? But
Because
yeah,
it's going to be a mindset shift. That's all it is. You're going to go from dreading it to being like, well, this is what we do for this. Like, I'm going to look good at the beach. I'm going to feel
yeah.
good. I'm going to have amazing sex. I'm going to, whatever the whole list of other things are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember how we used to look. You know what I'm
Man, I
saying?
just want to just not even think about like what I'm wearing. Like, oh, I can't wear that because that's gonna show. I want to just be so carefree. Like, oh yeah, I'll buy that dress. It's that size.
Wear
It'll
whatever
fit.
you want to wear.
Yeah, I can't wait to do that again. But anyway, all right, let's move along because that gave me a nice little a little vote of confidence. Like I'm ready to go work out. I'm like, yeah. Music really helps me too because most of the time I have to tell myself just get your shoes on, just get your shoes on, and then just get out the door, just get out the door. And that's what, like, I'll do my face and all that stuff we talked
Hold
about the
on.
morning routine last week.
I'm still listening.
But what'll happen is once I get out the door, once I get there, then my body just takes over. So then the next thing you know, I'm just on my walk or on a bike or doing whatever. So
Yeah,
but
because
I'm
it's hard
keeping
to do
at it, and
something after you got there. Like, what would you do? Just stand there? You're already there.
right.
So just get yourself there. That's it. And
That's
then,
the good thing about a gym though. Because when
yeah,
I tried,
that is true. But like you are going to develop the habit of you going to be able to get it in regardless. Trust me, trust me,
Yeah.
trust me. Just and try to go on one of those days that you really are feeling like you want to talk yourself out of it. Like write down the only reasons that you would not go to the gym, and then when you decide that you I may not go today, see if one of those is the reasons. If it's not, then you should just make yourself go. And whatever you do is gonna work. It doesn't even matter. Like sometimes you have days in the gym where you're like, I didn't do as much as I did yesterday, but I still moved. I still
But I
did this.
showed up. Right. And I
Exactly.
did it.
So
Right.
yeah, don't you know, trust me.
All
Trust
right.
me.
Look.
I listen, I'm where I'm at today, right now, right? Which is not even far because I just really started August 1st, right? So it's a month. But the changes that I've seen in that month, and I'm not even working out every day. You know what I'm saying? And most of it is mindset, and exercise, like you said, helps that. Like it's
Yeah.
just anyway, I love it here. I need to stop doing that with my hands. Oh, before we move on, I need to have I need to know, do you have any other sidebar guys? She has like a mini Staples at her house. And so whenever I need school supplies or
I'm
anything that
sure that I
looks like
do. What
one,
can
she
I
has
do for you?
everything.
Welcome to
I
Staples.
need to know if you have any more dotted line journals.
Yes, the spiral ones.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter because I want to make a journal for my brain dumps. I want to make a journal for something else that I wrote down three
I have
different things.
everything
I
you
need three
need.
different books for
I've
these
got
things.
everything you need. You just come on over. I've got it all organized in the
Yeah,
in
I
the
probably will be
software.
over this Sunday because
I
I
should
think
call it the stock room.
I gotta bring y'all food on Sunday. So I'll be over this Sunday.
Oh, that would
Because
be
y'all aren't gonna
lovely.
go, right?
No, we can't. We already decided we got
So
to do all this stuff. It's
me and
going to
your
take us a
nephew are
long
gonna go
time.
over there and do what we did last time. We're just gonna cook everything and then bring y'all
Oh my
whatever.
gosh, if you brought me a plate, I would be so excited. But
Yeah,
you
that's
don't have to.
it's down the street.
Well, listen, yes, please come over
Wouldn't
because I
that
do
be
have
fucked
lots
up if
of
I was
stuff.
like, oh yeah, I went and I grilled and everything and I was right down the street from your house, but wouldn't you love to
No,
have some of
I
this
wouldn't be
cookout
messed
food?
up. I mean, like we kind of forfeited that by saying we can't go. But I really I told you what we're doing,
Not
so I
really,
really
because
just
if I didn't go, wouldn't y'all be like, oh, you want me to bring you some food?
yeah, I would. But yeah, okay, all right, that's a good point.
So chime in
Well,
on
I
the
wasn't
menu
expecting
too,
you
because I'm
to,
gonna do it on Sunday.
but I'll take it.
Yeah, so you got to chime in on the menu too. I sent the menu. So
Okay. All
anyway,
right, listen. Now let's get into these shenanigans.
on to
There's a lot of
business.
stuff. What'd you say?
I said on to business. Now that we've
On to
like
business. There's
talked
a
about
lot of
everything.
shenanigans happening on these internet streets. And so this is a segment where we'll go over some of these. Now, I want to give a disclaimer because I don't like to make fun of people and I don't like well, okay, secretly I do. But that's more like in private. Like I'll make secret jokes about people and I'll, laugh at them in my head or I'll share them with people like my husband or my sister. But I
Honestly,
don't
that's
like to
real
go
though. That
publicly
is real.
embarrassing people, especially when I think it's kind of sad. But these two things have come up on the internet and I feel the need to address them for larger reasons. And because I could not talk about them. So the first one is your girl Stacey Dash. Now, I have much respect for Stacey Dash. Well, I used to when she was on Clueless. That was one of my favorite teen movies, Clueless. And when I found out that she was Damon Dash's cousin, like real cousin, I really was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. But then when she started like supporting Trump and stuff like that, and the things that she was saying around those times, it was like kind of some of the stuff she was saying was disheartening. Recently, she's back in the media and social media, um, and she's basically what happened was she just realized that DMX passed away. DMX, by the way, passed away in August of 2021. I'm sorry, April. I'm
Oh
looking
Lord.
right now. April 9th, 2021 is his date of death. And I didn't even realize it was that far, like that
So
long
it's been
ago.
over a year.
I didn't realize it was that long ago. Like it feels like it feels like it happened earlier this year, but um but It's been over a year, lady. So let's check out her reaction and then let's talk about it. I feel like
Oh Lord.
she
Oh shoot, that's not
that's our
it.
next topic. Let's play the video and then we'll talk about it because
Let me just scroll
she's
through everything that we're gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying?
fine. Everybody give a heads up.
And my internet is tripping right now. It's basura. I'm just gonna play it from this
It's all
I'm just
good.
gonna try to play it from this hopefully this plays. I don't know if y'all will be able to hear it though. Can y'all hear it? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear it.
Okay,
I can hear.
I'm ashamed.
I can't hear anymore.
From a cocaine overdose.
Damn it, sorry.
I'm
It's so dramatic.
6 years in one, but clean. It breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. He lost. He lost. He lost that demon of addiction. Please. Please don't lose.
Listen.
Airplay, whatever this is. Okay. First of all, I just want to say, who is that white woman?
Oh my God. That is horrible. Oh God.
Okay, so listen, I don't know what she was doing. I could see if it was like weeks or a month, maybe a couple months, but it's been over a year. I feel like she, it's fine that she didn't know, but for her to pick up the camera, like she knows that she's gonna get dragged, or not even dragged, because I don't think nobody's gonna drag her, but people are gonna not be caring. I feel like I haven't even looked to see what people are saying though.
I mean, I haven't looked either, but I would imagine it goes something like this. What the hell, lady? Like, we've already done this. Like, you're way late. And okay, here's my thing. When I first saw what the caption was, or like what was actually happening, it was before I actually viewed the video. And I had some sort of like empathy then, because I was like, oh, well, even though she's just finding out, I can understand why it's upsetting, because, I would imagine she knew him, right? Like, just from what I said in the beginning, I believe her real cousin is Damon Dash. I don't know how close they are, if that is indeed her real cousin, but like I would think that she's actually met DMX and she's been around him, and she obviously has connected to his music, and so. But then again, now that I think of it, wouldn't someone have told her if she knew him?
So there were probably millions of tributes on Instagram, millions of videos done about it. Like somebody says, if I was today years old when I found out, in quotation marks, was a goddamn person, Stacy clueless ass.
Oh wow!
And then people are asking, "This is a joke? Is it a joke?" And they said, "I hope she's not playing." Like but I feel like she knew this was gonna happen. She's been dragged enough times on the internet that she knows that. Why would you pick up the camera months later to say that?
It's been a year, and even if you're upset, why are you rushing to your camera to be like, oh, let me get these tears on film? Here's the part that really got me lost, right? Because at first it's like, okay, now you're breaking down, you're having moments. If you're really having those moments, then why do we need to witness that? It seemed really like acting, like, you know what I'm saying? She's an actress. So it seemed like really bad acting. So I didn't want to think that it wasn't real. But then at the end, when she was like, don't lose, it kind of reminded me of one of those like weird, like, stay off drugs commercials. It's just like, he lost to the demon. Don't lose. Like, I don't know if she was doing that dramatically and she's just a dramatic person, but that just made it all the cornier. And it just, I don't think it landed for that reason, because anybody who would be going through that, I would imagine, is somewhere laughing at her. Someone's like, oh,
I've not really looked into her in a long time. I don't pay attention to Stacey Dash or whatever. She looks a little bit different to me. I don't know what kind of stuff she's done to her face or whatever, but yeah, I'm not. I think she did it for attention or whatever. Somebody
yeah.
said you are the gift that keeps on giving for real.
I mean, yeah, this stuff is. I mean, this stuff you can't make this stuff up, and so I don't know what to make of it. I hate to have even I don't want to make fun of her if it was real, but if it would be like you got to do better, lady.
I don't want to make fun of her, but what I just want to say is that if I found out that somebody that I actually knew had passed away and I missed it and it had been over a year, I would be asking myself, well, how close was I with this person if I didn't know after over a year and some change that they were gone? That's number one. Number two, I would not try to let everybody see how much I wasn't paying attention to that person that I'm now crying over. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I think she wanted attention for this. She wanted to show off her new Michael Jackson face. I don't know. I don't feel like I should have said that either, but
hey, listen,
she's on here doing it. So I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I apologize for that because she didn't do anything to me, but I feel like she's asking for attention. You know what I'm saying?
It does seem very like attention getting driven.
Like, okay, lady. That's the kind of like, because my thing is like, if somebody walked up on her talking to somebody and they told her she just found out and this was how she reacted to the person telling her, then I would be like,
that's one thing. But
you
you wouldn't got your whole camera.
But
and you held the camera the whole time. Like, what are you doing? Stop
it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it either. All right, next on the shenanigans list is another person who I don't really want to give light to, but I just want to talk about the overall situation and where we're going, where we're not. This is the video of King Harris. Now there were a couple of videos, and he's gotten into some sticky situations in the past with the Waffle House thing.
So wait, let me ask you a question. Where did he do this video at? Is it on? Did he do it on YouTube?
I feel like it was TikTok. I'm not really sure though.
Because I don't want to play nobody else's YouTube video. I don't want to play nobody else's YouTube video. If I can find it on Instagram, then I'll play that. But I'm not going to say anything on this one because I didn't mean to say that stuff about Stacey, but it just came out and I don't want to.
Hey, look, this is your reaction. Don't be worried about that. Like, this is your reaction. This is what's really happening. I don't know if he was on. I don't know where he put this. If he put it on Twitter or if he put it on Instagram. He's Kid Cyan on Instagram apparently, but I don't know where it was first. Okay, I'm looking.
I got you. I'm gonna find another one. I just don't want to play nobody else video because I don't know them people, and I don't want nobody to be like, oh, they're over here playing our shit. So
no, I feel you. Well, we don't even have to. I could just tell you what has happened here, and we don't even have to
show. Like, I'll show it. Like, I'll show the.
Gotcha. No, I feel you. So basically, and I was so confused. I heard that he had gotten arrested, and there's a mugshot somewhere, and I was like, oh, that's unfortunate.
I saw people talking about it, but I didn't listen, so I don't know what happened. Like, what did he get arrested for?
We don't know, or I don't know, right? And this is what I want to say because he came out and said like the cops pulled him over and all this stuff, and when he did his reactionary video to him originally putting that information out there, he was taking a bath. And really, this is what I'm getting at. It's not really about the arrest, and it's not really about, like, what is this? It's not really about the arrest.
Oh, God damn it. I didn't mean for this shit to play.
It's all good. It's not about the arrest.
Go to a part where we can see his face. Okay, we're there. All right.
Poor kid. Because it's not about the arrest, and it's not about him being like a bad person. It's just that he thinks that he's coming off in a different way. it's obvious to us that like you're reveling in this, you're taking some sort of pride in the fact that you've been arrested as if it's some, you know, extraordinary achievement, and it's really it's not becoming. And I don't think anybody's like looking up to him as far as like young kids, but it's just an unfortunate situation. And I hope this isn't the unraveling or the beginning of some horrible thing, because a lot of times when people go in this direction, it just gets worse before it gets better. And just the fact that he's reaction to the reaction and you're in the bathtub, I really want somebody to come and get him and let him know that this is not the way we do things around here.
See, I have to look into this whole thing to see what he was. What did you say he was even arrested for? You said you didn't know. Okay,
I don't know what he was arrested for.
So he's Earl's age. Earl's older than him, a little bit older than him.
He's 18.
Still, like, I think that this family is interesting. You know what I mean? I just really.
Yeah, when you think about the whole family, that's really weird. For a traffic violation.
He's this is interesting. I'm gonna look more into it. Did his father say anything?
I haven't heard him say anything.
This was the little boy that it was some story a while ago, but I guess he was walking to the car or somebody. He was turning around telling people to back up. I guess it was paparazzi. I can't really remember who it was, but he had like it was him. And so okay, I see. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, and I really hope he gets his life turned around, because I can already see he's headed down a path, and it's not with the arrest that I'm talking about. He was arrested for a traffic violation. The arrest is not what I'm talking about when I say he's headed down the wrong path. The thing that I think this, that's screaming out here is that he really needs this attention. He's really, really wanting this attention, and he's acting like, I guess he can't understand that we can see him, right? So
unfortunately we can.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, this is what it's just a whole sad thing. Gwendolyn says, so sad to me. He just graduated from high school. Tio is so proud of this waste of life. Oh my gosh. I mean, here's the thing. He could be doing something, anything. He could be, making marbles for all I care.
So this is kind of what people be talking about when they're like, celebrities' kids, some of their kids are entitled. Like, he's not like taking advantage of the situation that he has. He's just out here doing whatever he wants to do, apparently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, meanwhile,
I'm interested to see what his parents have to say.
I mean,
he definitely looks like Tiny, though. I don't know.
I'm sure they're going to come out in defense of him, but they've had their own legal issues and other social media issues.
True.
Yeah, I don't know who he really looks like out of the two of them, but yeah, there's that. I just feel like if he were doing something, constructive, or then it would just be better. I'm trying not to say the wrong thing, because
You're right though.
I don't want to be so hard on a person. Like, we all do crazy stuff when we're at this age. I just don't want to see him get in a bad situation. And by bad situation, I don't even mean like with the law. So like, he's obviously in need of all this attention, and nobody's like able to reach him and tell him like, hey, don't do that, or here, let me teach you something, right? He's just out there like gassing himself up with the wrong, gases. And nobody's able to reach him. And, in the past, life has to teach you. I've seen this happen to people where life has to teach you that that's not cool. And I would hate to see him, be in a bad situation because of this, because like, it's obvious to us and he doesn't see it. So good luck.
At least he's bathing. That's a positive.
I mean, but why? Why do we see that? Anyway, I just have so many questions, so little answers. Anyway, crazy. Let's go ahead and move right on along to
I did good. I kept my words to myself on that one. I did good.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, because I know what you really think. Um, yeah, so basically, actually, let's go into step into Genius, the last part of the documentary Genius, if you don't
Yeah, what
mind.
were your takeaways? Because when I was watching, like I watched the last part and I enjoyed the whole thing thoroughly, but I could not stop thinking about part 1 and 2. So I didn't have any takeaways from the last part because I don't know, 1 and 2 was just in my mind like, yeah, that was the shit.
No, I completely am with you on that. As far as like the 1 and 2 for me were just so inspirational, and because we lived through those times and we saw what was happening, even the stuff that was happening in the background was so fascinating to me. Like the way they were just like egging him, like they didn't know how talented he was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Gwendolyn, that T.I. and Tiny uphold King's behavior, unfortunately, and they probably got a lot to say about it too. Like, oh, well, he was just
That's what I
doing
want to
this.
hear. I want to see what they said.
I'm so
But I don't know why I want to hear that because I don't know what I think I'm going to hear. But
I mean, I'm kind
anyway.
of curious too. I'm kind of curious too. Like, let's see what happens. But okay, as far as Genius, the part 3 was when he, finally got on. He was making his second album and beyond, and it was also when he lost his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely remember being sad about that when it happened. I was working for NASA at the time, and I was headed up to like
Okay.
the Bolger Center to set up for a meeting,
I remember that.
and
Yeah.
I was like just thinking of them so hard because I was like, wow, like for some reason, something about her, I really felt connected to her, even though I never met her, and
Mm-hmm.
and I just remember thinking like how hard it must be for him because it seemed
Mm-hmm.
like that was like the closest person to him. But so
That's
we
the
got
main
to,
thing that stood out for me that I really knew that damn, he's fucked up over this. Like that's how I
yeah,
absorbed it. I didn't really
yeah,
think about her that much. I thought about her, but you know, mostly I was like he for a long time people were saying, he hasn't been right since that,
yeah,
So
yeah, and that's not being, in the circle or whatever. Like you could tell through like him seeing him, in the media that he was a little different. There's some things that
right.
probably would have gone a little differently for him if she were still around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but neither here nor there. The point is this. Um, so we got to see her, how that was dealt with, and then we got to see this sort of like distance grow between him and some of his friends. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting because I think that's just a common story, especially um in that industry. And he said a couple interesting things, especially to his friend who was Cootie, who was filming this. He basically was like, "We're not going to go through the documentary right now because I'm playing a role." And I thought that was interesting because I thinking back on the time of like the second album onto like graduation. It was late registration. It was graduation. I feel like I could see that, right? Like that made
Mm-hmm.
sense to me. And then when I could see that. I could see that he probably did say that, and that he probably did think that he was doing that. And it worked out for him, but
Right.
you can only do that for so long before it takes a toll on yourself. And I think we got to see that play out too, because it's no secret that he has some mental, struggles as far as like being bipolar and all of this. But it was so interesting to me to see how he kind of manages it, and how he uses his creativity as an outlet. And there's just no doubting that he's talented. There's just no way you can
Right.
doubt it. And the
Right.
one thing that I always found fascinating about him is that being an asshole is not against the law, right? So like you have all these other people who have done things, and he's been compared to Chris Brown. He's been compared to somebody said something about him and R. Kelly one time, and I was like, dude, this is not like, it was something to the effect of, well, you still listen to Kanye's music, but he didn't break any laws. He didn't hurt anybody, right? Like he
Right.
did the thing with Taylor Swift. He said the thing about George Bush, and ironically, a lot of the stuff that he says is true.
I was about to say that some of that stuff was true. It
That's
was
the
funny.
thing. It's just maybe like ill-timed or impolite. It's like, and I'll just take those two instances where he said the thing about George Bush doesn't care about black people. That's what he thought in the moment. I definitely agreed. I'm not saying that he despised black people, but I don't know that either. I felt like it's not a care of his. He doesn't wake up in the morning like, okay, I got to do this, and what am I going to do about the blacks? This is not George Bush's agenda. He doesn't care about black people. He just wasn't, it just wasn't anything anybody had ever said on live TV. So it was like,
yeah, he said when
no.
we were, with not, he
It just
wasn't
didn't
lying.
even make me blink. I was like, okay, next statement. But and then the thing with Taylor Swift, I just got to get this. I don't think they even covered this in a documentary, but I always feel like this, and I have to get it out.
I think it was a blip on there. I kind of feel like I heard somebody mention it, but it wasn't like they didn't show a whole bunch of it or whatever. But I think maybe Cody glossed over it or something.
I have to say this to Kanye's credit. He does just say what's on his mind. And when he went out there on stage, it was inappropriate. It was inappropriate. And I remember he went a few days later and was on Jay Leno. And Jay Leno said, I met your mom once. What do you think she would say? And he was visibly upset. He didn't have any words. And Kanye being speechless is something we rarely see. So I remember thinking that he must have really taken that hard. But what he said,
that's like fucked up to say.
Listen, let me just remind everybody of what he did and said. He went out on stage after Taylor Swift won for Best Video. And he went and said, I'm sorry, Taylor, I'm going to let you finish. But Beyonce had the greatest video of all time. And he pointed to Beyonce. And we all remember Beyonce's reaction like, oh no. Yeah. But does anybody remember what that Taylor Swift video was? I don't think so. I don't remember the song. I don't remember the video. I don't remember any of that. But I definitely remember, oh, no. And it was a black and white video when everybody was doing like, all of this stuff in their videos. It was just straight up dancing. And there wasn't really no effects in it. It was just like her being great. So it was like, well, he was right. So I just don't understand. Well, like, yeah, it was not kind, I guess.
Because it's like, okay, you remember like when people are bipolar, like that's a serious mental thing, right? They have to stay on their meds. You remember when we used to work at that restaurant and we had a manager that was bipolar?
Yes, I know exactly.
If he wasn't manic, he was a strict, manager, right?
Yeah.
But then when he would be running through there doing all kinds of crazy stuff, wearing Halloween masks and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think that it's like, Kanye's the type of person that, yeah, he does just say what he thinks. And a lot of times he's right. But it's the delivery sometimes of some of the stuff that he says too, because then fast forward, then he'll be on TMZ talking about slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not everything he says. I think he's definitely,
clearly he's a genius though. Because we rock his stuff, man. I was playing that video of them on the plane, of the choir on the plane, when they were like, and like, is the white dude on there? Is he in the choir, or was he just like he's filming with them? Because he's like
James. His name is James something. He's a famous talk show host.
I watched it back 5 times just because of him. I watched only him for like 5 times, then I watched the rest. But I wanted to see him. He was like.
He's okay, so he does this thing where he has a talk show and he does this thing where he takes celebrities in cars and they kind of like jam out to whatever music, doing karaoke and stuff like that. James Corden. That's his name. Okay. James Corden goes to ride the
somebody's damn name. You always even have it at your fingertips.
I just Googled it. Because he's, he's like, I don't know if he's British or what, but he goes around and he I think he's had a lot of people in his car. So I think he may have had Adele. He definitely had Lizzo.
Well, that was bomb.
Ariana Grande. Yep. So I guess that was the version of it because Kanye probably wasn't going to be in a car, but he was with the choir. What is the name of the daggone choir?
You talking about his choir?
Yes, I cannot remember right now. I'm about to Google it.
Yes, Sunday service? Man, that Joe Crank. I don't care what nobody say that. I can listen to that over and over and over. You just feel it. And it's just like, that's when I get excited and I want to do this again and be like, I love my people for that, especially we size things up. You take us, like I said, before, if you take us to We can all be in a room and not know each other. If somebody starts singing "Can We Talk," we're all gonna be sounding great.
Yes.
You know, like we just have this sauce, this flavor. I understand why people
Yes.
want it. You know what I'm saying? Like I love being a black person. You know what I'm saying? It's no shade to anybody
Absolutely.
that's not black. Like if you should fuck with your race the way that we fuck with our race, but I just love the sauce that we bring to stuff. Like I want to do this challenge also that I don't know. I don't care anybody else wants to join. Sorry, I had to hijack this real quick because
Do it.
I want to try to wear all black brand clothing.
Ooh.
Like I want, like obviously, and maybe I'm not going to be able to wear every single thing if we don't have everything, but we have a lot of black owned brands.
Yeah.
Why the hell not? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
anyway, that's
No,
going to be
that's
one of
really
my
good.
challenges that I want to
I
do because
think
people
that's a
still
good
we make
challenge.
everything. We even if it's not just clothing. Like I'm already trying to do a buy black thing or whatever, but we have so much, like so many creations and stuff that we could like have our own city. That's what's also so great about us because we're gonna make shit happen. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
it could be Vaseline on the face, but that's you know what I'm saying. We're gonna, but we got so many products. We got body butters. We got people that make clothing. We got people that make shoes. We got people that make hair stuff. We got people that make cleaning products. Like I want to really, really try it with the clothing thing and see what's up. Because when I watch the Social Proof podcast,
Yeah.
they are wearing black brands, right? And
Yeah.
there's some type black brands out there that nobody fucking knows about.
True. Oh, some fly stuff. They be wearing some fly stuff. I got on the black brand right now. God is dope.
See, that's what I'm saying. And imagine in a perfect world, we were all fucking just, you know,
Yes. Oh, I
spreading the
definitely
love.
feel like we need to go in that
Because we
lane
buy
of
clothes
like,
anyway.
and I mean, listen, it's not like we're you know, shunning out other cultures, but I definitely think
But
black people could sustain ourselves as a race basically with the saying what you're saying, like buying black products, buying black soaps,
I
buying
think
black,
that's one of the
like
things.
I do want to do more of that. I try to do that, but I could definitely be better because I'd be buying a whole bunch of stuff from like Amazon and Costco. But but I have
No, and I'm not saying that we can't buy nothing else, but I think that you know what I'm saying. If we did support each other a lot, because we as a people spend a lot of money in this economy, whether it be on beauty stuff, food,
yeah.
cars, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like we could take a little bit of that money and try to put it back in
That's a
our
great challenge.
pockets or
You know
whatever.
what? I'm going to raise that challenge up because there are like, let's just try to find, right, like a few even like household products, clothing, whatever, and just replace your brand with that brand. There's a lady, oh man, what is her name? Her company's, her name is Chanel. Her company is called Play Pits, and you can find her in
Oh,
Target.
I got it on here.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it too. You can find her in Target. She's actually from the DC area, and she started making her own deodorant for her son because he would play
Oh, it was
football.
on here.
She would play. He would
Give
play
me a moment.
football, and
I'm tripping.
she was like he would smell after the football practice, which I know you can relate to that when Earl was younger, but she
That's
was
what
like,
like
I'm
on
going
the
to make him
thing.
a natural deodorant. And so she came up with this formula. She did all the steps she needed to do. Now she's in Target. And I can completely appreciate that because now she has, I don't know if this was new, if she did all this at once, but now we went to the Target last week to do our grocery shopping and they have on the right side right there, those two deodorants are for adults. So she got this for the
Okay.
kids on the other on that side, right? And I mean, like it's cool for kids, but I don't really like the citrus deodorants. But that adult play pits, now it's $10 in the Target. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's not like your $4
Do
secret or
it
nothing.
work though. Do it work though. That's what I
Yes,
want.
I can attest to it. It does work. And I have some
Have you
sweaty
worked
pits.
out with it?
I haven't worked out with it, but I've used it like to go to work and it's lasted me all day and it smells bomb.
Okay.
It smells so good. Like the
All
clean
right. And I'm
version.
going to share this on my next season of WGO too.
So
Yeah.
in Target though, I think it was $10. But I'm not sure. And then James got the king version. So I got the queen version. The queen version smells so good and it works.
Okay.
I didn't wear it
Yeah.
working out, but I will try to do that
So
either
that's
tomorrow or
what that's
Saturday
yeah. I'm gonna do
whenever I go
that
back.
too. I'm gonna go get it because okay. So for those of you who don't know, I also have a show called What's Going On Relationship Entertainment Television, and the link is not in the description because I didn't put a fucking description today. But anyway, you can search up Relationship Entertainment Television. I have a show called What's Going On where I put blah blah, get your words together. Okay. Where I highlight a black business every week. It could be any kind of black business. So if you guys know people with black owned businesses, definitely send me an email to dcitydj@gmail.com and I will feature that business for free. It ain't that many viewers over there right now, but that's okay because we about to get a whole bunch of viewers. But some people see it. I share it on Instagram as well, and then some people see it and then they see it and they don't know about it and they share it with this person. You never know who will see it. So if you know any black owned businesses, definitely email your girl. Anyway, all I need is their website or their Instagram. I will look at the product. If it's something that I can get, I'll order something so that way I can actually honestly say, I supported the business and stuff like that. So if y'all go over to Relationship Entertainment Television and see my past 2 seasons, there are, I guess there's 14 shows. So there's 28. That means there's 28 episodes. So that means that there's 28 black owned businesses that you might not know about, that you might be able to support, or you might be able to share with somebody else. And yeah, so I'm gonna put my email in here.
Yes, and I just put the link to ReTV. It's
Bet.
www.re-tv.net. And so yeah, I love what you're doing. And there's also another lady that I'm going to tell you about, but I won't do it now because we have another topic. But yeah, I think that's a great challenge. I'm so glad you said that.
Because we're all gonna have our own black owned businesses one day as well. Because we're all everybody I know is working on something, right? So if you support other people will support you because sometimes your friends and family aren't your customers. It's other people. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox.
No, that's what's up. I think that was amazing. That was genius. Yeah, and just to recap on that, I thought the things that I took away from Genius was just that everybody's going through something, and if you don't believe in yourself, then it's definitely never going to happen. So you touched on this last week, but like I feel like Kanye is an example of what confidence looks like. Like it might not be polite to everybody, and everybody might not believe in you, but if you believe in yourself, that's really all that matters, because nobody can stop you from doing what you love to do. And if you do what you love to do, you're going to get better at it. If you show up every day and do something to the best of your abilities and you're passionate about it, it's impossible that you won't get better. Right? It's just impossible. So there's I have this thing in my mind that Donda must have thought to herself, and I don't have proof of this, but she must have thought to herself, I'm just going to pour everything into him, and I'm just going to, make him believe that he can do whatever he can think of. And I think that we see the manifestation of that, like what that looks like. And yeah, he's not the most, couth person or whatever, but like he has a gift. And I think, okay, this is another takeaway I had. I think we see the effects of someone, because he said it himself to Cootie, like he was playing a role. And I feel like when you pretend to do something, it takes its toll on you. And then, when you're being sort of like trolled in the media for just being yourself or for having those sorts of ideas. And I feel like the media in the world is a cold place. And so if you step out of line the way that we want you to fit in this little box. If you don't fit this box, then we have to judge you and we have to call you out so you can get back in the box. And I feel like because he doesn't think like that, he's been sort of ridiculed. But if you really look at some of the stuff he's saying, not everything he's saying is accurate. Most of the stuff, let me say this. Most of the stuff, I feel like most of the stuff he says is accurate, or I can see how he got to that conclusion. Now he does go on these rants sometimes, and I think he doesn't like communicate in a way where people will be able to clearly understand what he's saying if they don't listen to everything that he's saying, right? And I think that sometimes he just says whatever's on his mind, whether he fact checked it or not. But there's so many times where I think he did get it right, or that I could see what his point was. But you really kind of got to listen to the whole thing in order to see like what he's trying to say. Because if a lot of times what happens is what he says, like people take one part of it and then they put it out there, and then it sounds crazy because we didn't hear the other parts. There's so many times that I've gone back and listened to the whole thing that he said and been like, oh, okay, I see what he meant, right? Like he wasn't saying that, but he said these one or two lines that sounded really weird, but I see what he was getting to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so just so what you just said makes a lot of sense, because that's what happens on Instagram and YouTube. So when you see these clips of people talking, it came from a whole podcast. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like, I guess, like how own edit shit. Like you could take a part of the thing. If you remove one word or however you play, whatever you play, it could come off a certain way. So you would have to be a person to be like, okay, I want to go see the whole full video. But a lot of people are not taking the time to do that. You know what I mean? So that's how stuff gets misconstrued. But I mean, no, I think that he's gifted and everything. I think that, I mean, as far as like the stuff that he's saying, like when we know that when he has manic episodes or whatever, like my thing is we don't know what is really going on. You know what I'm saying? Like when he said he was playing a role, like I feel like two ways about that. Like if he is bipolar and maybe he just thinks something, right? Or like your mind is strong. Like even if he wasn't bipolar, he could still be thinking something and have him doing, thinking he's doing something else. Was it that, or was it, or like, what does he mean in role? When he like joined the ranks in hip hop, but I mean, clearly we see he climbed his way there, so nobody gave him like a payment. But I mean, I guess if he got high enough and somebody had been like, all right, well, you can have these deals if you do this, he could have did a business deal that had him playing a role. Who the fuck knows? I think that also he said stuff that he didn't mean to say as well sometimes, so I don't know, but I think that he is very smart. I think that he's done really well with his albums and stuff like that. And I feel like when he married Kim Kardashian, I was just like, well, we lost him.
I mean, I think you gotta kind of do whatever you want to do, but hopefully he got that out of his system. Listen, we have 4 little Kanye's now.
We did try to stop him. I remember
we have 4 little Kanye's, and that poem that his ex-girlfriend did. I'll never forget that. I gotta go back.
Sorry.
So compared to, do you mean Caitlyn? Now listen, I gotta just correct you there. So then I want to say this too, because he kind of probably just had to do that because that's what he wanted to do. But we are blessed with 4 little Black Dashians that will be
Black
something to see. That's what I call them. I think there's 9 of them now altogether. There might be 10 with Tristan's 2 kids. Anyway, let me stop. But I love his little kids and what they say and what they do because they're so entertaining. Northwest is hilarious. And his other one, Saint, is really funny too, because I don't know if you saw that clip that was going around a few months ago where he was like, Kim was going live and he was like, hi, weirdos. And he's in the background. Yes, I hate you. I was like, yo, that's little Kanye. It was so funny because I didn't see anything wrong with what he was saying because I feel like he was being himself and that's how he's allowed to act, obviously. Right. So what is he saying that's so wrong if he's not been taught to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say that.
From over there.
I actually didn't think he said that anyway. No, that's okay. I actually just really didn't see what he said was wrong. Now, that being said, that's not my child. And if my child were to do that, there would be probably a set of consequences. But I was highly entertained with saying
that was funny.
Things. And North has done several things too in the past where she'll be like, no pictures. And she was at a fashion show a little while ago, and she had this you just see her with this sign like "Stop it."
Yeah,
And I was
I
like,
saw that because they were saying that Kim put her up to doing that she told her now and she put the sign up.
that's
So
funny. Well,
I don't
anyway,
know.
I'm enjoying
But I
them.
mean,
I
listen,
hope.
I just want to say this one thing about these things or whatever. Like, we don't know what the fuck these people are really doing. Like,
Yeah, this is true.
these people work in the land of make pretend. They make
Yeah.
pretend for money. And so, like,
Mhm.
I question everything that happens. I'm sorry. I'm not a like conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but I do question certain things because I'm like, we don't know what's going on. Y'all,
This is so
y'all
true.
probably sit like just like we content creators sit at home and we come up with content. They're creating content as well. That I mean, that's just what it
Yep.
is to me. So my point is, I feel like some of the people that was involved with them had to be in on it as well at some point because they had to see what was going on in real life, right? Because what we see on the camera is what they want us to see because they're the executive producers of their show, like you would let me know before. So I don't trust these people.
I don't either. But I think fame and fortune is a drug. And like just to your point, I think there's a lot of stuff we don't know what people are doing, a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes because people want to be famous. And they'll do anything and they'll even make themselves uncomfortable to hold on to that. And I mean, that's kind of dangerous in itself.
Okay,
But
you made me think of somebody else.
well, I was actually thinking about the Kardashian crew. But
Have you ever
no,
watched any of Orlando Brown's videos?
I don't think so. Orlando Brown. Oh, yes, I have. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I think
I
he
don't know
has
what's
some
going on with that.
serious issues. We're gonna have to talk about
That's
that on the
crazy.
next show.
Yeah.
Look, let me talk about this one last thing.
Okay.
Well, there's two things I want to bring up, but I'm only gonna bring up one. If you want to bring up the last one, we can end on that. But I wanted to talk about InvestFest because it already happened, right? It was InvestFest. It was like a seminar, like a festival. That the Earn Your Leisure guys put on. I call them the Earn Your Leisure guys, but if you know anything about the podcast Earn Your Leisure, they're doing a lot of amazing things. Just talking about, they have a podcast, they have a TV show, and they're talking about how Black people should be investing and how we should be utilizing our money. They talk about actually a number of things about social media, about being an entrepreneur. So this had already happened. I just wanted to bring it up because I really hope that it is an annual thing. If
Dame
I
Dash
would,
was there this time.
yes. If and
Rick
actually
Ross.
he works with them because they have a show on. I think they have a show on his network.
That's where they got that clip from of when he said my what did he say? Whatever he says in the beginning is the opening or whatever.
Well,
Damn.
listen, this was an amazing. Like Tyler Perry was there, Steve Harvey was there. They had all of these workshops where they were telling people how to, build an economy. They were talking about investing, about women in business. They have Rick Ross there. I feel like, they had a lot of really good people that I know from social media, like Ian Dunlap and certain people that I do, fall that I follow or I've seen, Jessica Lane. There's a couple of people that I just know because I've been watching them for a while, like Him 500,
Follow a lot
Wall
of these
Street
people on
Trapper.
Instagram. There goes Shane's. A lot of these
Yes,
people we know because we watched that podcast and then we all of these are some awesome people.
I mean, they're amazing and they know so much and they're willing to share the information. And I love that they did this festival. They had Egypt there. Oh, I know that's right. I know she was talking about some real estate. So I just really love that people are doing this. And it's, it's nice to go to a concert. It's nice to go to a concert. Yeah, I know her because actually I know her from the planner world. But I don't know her like personally, but I know of her because she used to do stuff with planners. But yeah, I really just wanted to not even just give a shout out, but I wanted to talk about this because this is something that if I would have known early enough, I would have definitely tried to make it there. and if I would have been able to get the money together. But this is something that I wanted to say. It's nice to go to a concert and, like, you know, when my favorite people come in town, like I definitely like to go and see them. But like this is something that I feel is necessary for us, for Black people, to be doing and to be involved in and supportive of, because this is kind of like how we're going to move forward, like educating ourselves, making connections with other people who are successful, learning, and it's something about, and these are the Earn Your Leisure.
This is their fun. This is their university.
I love them because they're real dudes. Like, it's not like they're fronting or anything like that. These are real dudes. They speak
Mm-hmm.
in their real voices, not their work voices that they have to use around white people, which I have to do sometimes. But yeah, I love them. I think what they're doing is so dope.
It's
And
dope as hell. And to piggyback on what you said though, like they're basically, if you watch any one of these people, like if you watch Earn Your Leisure, you're going to be introduced to all of the other people that are in their circles. And so it's like they're basically doing a lot of business by sharing networks. You feel what I'm
yes,
saying? Like my people over here, like say I do a crochet business. Okay, I got all the crochet people buying stuff, whatever. But then you got cupcake business, and then me and you decide to do something together. We don't know what we can do together, but we can share our networks. Your customers can meet me, and my customers can meet you, or whatever product. And that is how we, it's enough for everybody. It's not like, just because you have a business, I can't have a business. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that you can see that they go on each other's platforms, they recommend each other to other, to
yep,
other entrepreneurs, but they're all, it's like it's crazy because once I start watching one and then I start meeting the other one, like you can't tell me that it's not a lot of millionaire Black people, because we done
yep,
seen a whole bunch of them over this last year and a half. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
That's stuff that people don't even know about. So,
Exactly. I
but
be having to remind myself of that.
but this is their website, EYLUniversity.com. And just learn about them. They have a podcast. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut off what you were saying. I just got
No,
excited
that was
because like
great. That was
I see
exactly.
them doing the damn thing. Like, anyway.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I just wanted to touch on InvestFest, even though it's already over. I know there's clips and there's stuff, so I'm gonna probably be looking up some stuff like that. But I'm gonna make it my business, if they do this again or if they do this annually, I'm gonna be at the very next one. And if they're gonna do it in August of next year, I will be there. Because I would just imagine like how powerful it was. And one of the things they talk about too in this whole like community that you were just speaking about is like sometimes, like, yeah, you definitely want to go for the information and to figure out, um, what they know, but the people that you meet there, right? Like the people that you meet there are more valuable than anything, these relationships that you can build. Um, Euro Invest Fest tickets. I'm not
They
gonna go
got
to
a
Euro.
virtual option for 197 for a recording of Saturday and Sunday. So
That's probably something I'm gonna be looking into.
you know
Because
what?
I've
We'll talk about
really,
that offline.
yeah, I mean,
'Cause
that's something that I can, that is the gift that keeps on giving. So yeah,
let me close that
I'm
door.
gonna be looking at that tonight. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that and just give a shout out to Earn Your Leisure and just, yeah, okay, so
Yes,
last
that's
thing.
what's up.
Look,
By the way, so this is Rashad. This one is Rashad, right? I can't
yeah.
remember this gentleman's name, but
Bilal,
Rashad was the one. Is it Bilal? Okay.
I think it's
But
Bilal
Rashad,
Rashad.
okay, so I know this is Rashad because I
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
him
yeah.
on Kendra G's show. You know, Kendra G is the girl I told you that was the Chicago radio host that's doing she does these trains, basically is what she calls them, because she gets on Facebook and she'll have people come up and she'll ask them questions and they'll say what they're looking for in a mate or whatever, and then she'll let them drop their Instagram and then people can hit them up. And so she's saying like the good guys that she brings on there, they be getting like thousands of DMs. But she was able to talk Rashad into coming on there. He didn't know what the show was about, but he did a really good he was a really good sport about it or whatever. But I was like, that's what's up. But that was, again, sharing networks. She just knows that she knew him, and she was like, hey, why don't you come on my show? And he was like, all right. And now they talked about her coming over to their show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought that was good. But yeah, definitely follow them on YouTube, Instagram, all their platforms. And they have this website. The website is actually earnyourleisure.com, not Earn Your Leisure.
EYL
Not EYL
University.
University.
Yeah.
EYL University is
Listen.
separate, but you can get to it from this one. So anyway.
No, I love that. So yeah, last thing I
Yes.
wanted to talk about is your perhaps your future husband one day. And I don't know if I can bring up the clip. I'm so sad. If I can't bring up the clip,
Oh, that's
if I
funny.
can't bring up the clip, then I suck.
Yeah, it's
And
three dudes that, when you say celebrities, and I think a lot of people are cute, but my top three of all time is who did I say? I said Most Def, um, David Banner. David Banner is number one, then Most Def,
okay.
and then Andre 3000.
Okay. I like that. And I can see you with either one of them. That's so funny.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
David Banner, if you're watching, holler. No.
Right, you got the email address, dcitybj. Speaking of which, I don't know if he's affiliated with this, but I'm gonna put this link to you real quick in the private chat.
Get in.
So you can click on this link in the private chat real quick. But while I'm putting that up there, I don't know if tag, what was I getting ready to say? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Greenwood Bank. They're supposed to. It's a black bank.
What is that? Oh,
it's a black bank, and it was a couple of people in Atlanta who were Project Pat, I think, were supposed to be coming out with this, and for a long time, and it's finally about to be in the works. So we're gonna talk about it more next week because I think it's finally out, and now you can like sign up for an account, or if not, it's coming soon. But they've been doing this for so long. They've been having this in the works. Killer Mike. I call him Project Pat. That's not Project Pat. Killer Mike. Killer Mike is a genius, a leader in our community.
Oh man,
that's real sad. Because they're two totally different people. But Killer Mike has been always just like an advocate for like black people and everything black people. And this was part of his project, like one of the projects he's working on with others, which is Greenwood Bank. And it's coming out soon. You could go to bankgreenwood.com if you want to be on their list, but that's something that I'm definitely going to cover in one of our next shows because I can't wait to put money in that bank. But yeah, okay, so I just sent you this link. I don't know if you're able to pull it up. If you are, we can just listen because I love what he said. It was just like so amazing.
That is what makes you start to do.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me just pause it real quick.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just preface it with this. I love. There we go.
I'm so ghetto with this.
No, it's all good. Go ahead.
I'm so ghetto, y'all. Y'all just have to excuse me, but it's gonna happen.
I don't feel good. So
I still
at a certain point,
that's okay.
You gotta feed yourself, and sometimes you can't feed on memory. A lot of times
you couldn't hear it, could you?
Not is very important.
No, but anyway, look. Let me just tell you what he said, and you could go Google it or put it on Instagram.
No, wait a minute. I pushed mute over here because I thought that it was playing double, so I wasn't sure. I have to ask the chat like how they hear it when I was playing it. Did it sound like it was double or not? If it didn't sound like it was double, I can go ahead and just play it. So I don't know, but anyway, I'm gonna try it again. How did you know when it was about to start?
I don't know. Oh, because I know what he said at the end.
You watched it. Okay. Let me see if we can do this.
You can want to be something, but your strength is actually in something else. That is what makes you start to
sounds like it's double.
Your own thing. And that's when your skin start to breathe and you start to like get into your primal self, And your primal self is the best contribution to the planet. If I ain't creating nothing, I don't feel good. So at a certain point, you got to feed yourself, and sometimes you can't feed on mimicking, but you got to put the time in to figure out who you are and what you are, what you not too. A lot of times, what you not is very important, because you can want to be something, but your strength is actually in something else. That is what makes you start to do your own thing, and that's when your skin start to breathe and you start to like get into your primal self, and your primal self is the best contribution to the planet. If I ain't
Okay, I like that.
I
I didn't
love
need to
it.
talk to him about his some of his outfit choices or whatever. We'll talk about that later. He and I will talk about that
Listen,
later.
that is his primal self. That is his primal self. And I love it. I mean, listen, don't nobody, he's got the swag, okay? It's Andre
Yeah,
3000.
he can
He
pull it
knows
off.
what he's doing. But it's like, I loved what he said because so often well, I could just speak for myself. So often we get into this mindset that, you have to do it like this, or I have to do it the way that I've seen it done. And it's not the case. And like taken from someone who's done it so well, because nobody was doing what he was doing. And like to this day, one of my
True.
favorite songs, two of my favorite songs, there's a bunch of them, Prototype, but Hey Ya, I can never
That
not
was what was in my head right there.
and that's something that like nobody was doing. And then Elevators, I can never not listen to Elevators. Me and you, okay.
Right.
So anyway, I'm not even gonna go there, but my point is, taken from someone who's done it and done it well, being yourself is the best gift that you can give, because nobody can do it, number one, and two, you're fooling everybody if you're trying to do something else. That's
And you
something that I
can't keep
really
that up for long. You can be
hello.
yourself forever in a day. You know what I'm saying? But it takes us so long to actually accept that fact. And once you accept it, like he said, it's just like, I think we all were put here to create. You're put here to like create, inspire, because you have to create something all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, your lifestyle or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're contributing to something, you know what I mean? Products, conversations. Like, I agree with that. I agree with that.
So yeah, I just wanted to
That's
leave
why I'm gonna
everybody
get
on
married.
that note to please go out there and be yourself. I'm probably gonna watch that clip like once a day for a week, because I just loved it. And plus he's gonna be my brother-in-law one day. So
And you know what else is interesting too? Once you start to like keep yourself in a more positive mindset, because that's the best way to be. But once you start to
right.
keep yourself in a more positive mindset, and you're, I guess this is gonna sound corny, but like feeding yourself positive stuff, like, whether it's somebody having, like I said, a conversation, teaching something, or they're having a conversation, and it's two people you can learn from, or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything. Those are just basic things or whatever. But once you start doing that, you start seeing other things like that. But you don't see those other things until you start. It's just like the
Yeah.
whole, detour thing that I was talking about. But like, I just said that because I've been noticing that a lot of things that I've been, since we talked last week, a lot of the things that I've been watching and coming in contact with are about belief. Whether it's a church sermon or whether it's a rapper talking or whatever, it's about belief. And that those people don't all know each other. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm
No, for
like,
sure.
okay. So yeah.
It's a common theme. We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna get into that next week, because I've been watching a lot of stuff that all of these people didn't even know each other. They didn't even live in the same time, but somehow they are saying the same things, and they've all worked. Right? It's worked for too many different people from too many different places.
Well, I think that we
Not
make it
work.
hard. I think that we make it
Yeah.
hard. I think that we think that there's a whole bunch of steps that have to be done before we do something. I think that we think all of these things, but really the difference between us and these successful people is that they just started doing whatever the fuck it was that they thought that they should be doing. And all of those, I bet you a lot of these. Now, I'll say this. I was about to say, I bet you a lot of them didn't plan certain things like this. Now, like when Cardi B came out, Cardi didn't know that her Instagram was gonna go like that, go off like that. Then she got on to be on the reality show and stuff like that. And even when she had her first rap song, I thought she was joking. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, the fuck is she doing right now? Rapping like, it hadn't caught on to me yet. But look at her now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like if she hadn't never got started and started doing these things. Like, yeah, she's not the greatest, but she got better and she had other ideas that she did, and she created that lifestyle that she got. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
I did think she was playing when she first started with that first rap. I was like, because remember I used to send you her shit on Instagram when she got on that reality show, and she still had her Instagram when she would just upload and talk with them little baby teeth or whatever. And now, you know, like
I don't
I
know.
fuck with
I
that.
often think of DJ Self and how he must be kicking himself sometimes. Like he played himself on that one.
See, but that's the thing. She believed in herself.
Yes, she did. And she
That's
didn't
it.
go
And
out
it
and try to
sounds
be somebody
funny, but
else.
like
No,
you
for
have
real.
to
She believed in herself. She didn't go out and try to be somebody else. She just leaned into her own truth. And she
her
just was
complete
real.
self.
That's the thing. I think
And
that
that's
got
the
her so
reason
many
why people
followers.
fucked with her. Is that
Exactly.
what you just
I
said?
mean, to this day, and she still be saying real stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't go out and buy every album that she drops, but I do enjoy her personality, and I love what she's done for herself, like to build her empire. So
And she wouldn't have
anyway,
became the person that she is today if she wouldn't have went through all that stuff or whatever. So, but my point is, that's the only difference in between us, because when you looking at all of these other people's stories before they became famous or whatever they was doing, 9 times out of 10 they was trying to get on, right? They was trying to make
yeah,
something happen or whatever. And so that's no different than a regular person who's like, I want to become an entrepreneur and I want to be in control of my own schedule. I don't want to, have to work for somebody's corporation or company or whatever. Like, the difference between us and that person is that they started, yeah, they might have failed, but they started. Like, the whole thing is you have to just believe that you're going to be able to do it. I don't know. I don't know how many
agreed.
other
No,
times to say it, but that's how I'm feeling right now today. So, I mean, I was telling your nephew, it's as simple as me thinking about, I wonder what we're going to eat tonight. Like, what do I want? I want to have,
right.
salmon. I want some roasted vegetables. I want this. I want that. And I make it happen. It ends up
Just
on a
make it
plate and I'm
happen.
eating it because I
Yep.
believe that I could do it and make it. And I was just thinking about how confident I be in the kitchen. Like, when I go in the kitchen, now I
Yeah.
know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I can do that and several other things at the same time. I'm like, why don't I approach other stuff that I know how to do with that same confidence? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's a practice. I think it's a practice, and I think we're both starting to practice, or not even starting, but now we're starting to see. And I think you had touched on something earlier about like working out and stuff. When you first start, you kind of like not really confident in your abilities, and that's kind of like what I was experiencing, what I still am experiencing with the strength training part. And it is a dumb reason, but it's like I don't want to look stupid. But who cares? I'm just gonna go look stupid until I don't.
You can see
But
how many times I look stupid in one night.
and nobody
Okay?
even cares. Nobody is there at the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning to see me. Oh, here she is,
That's what I'm
everybody.
saying. The person that's really working out is not paying attention to you. And if they are, fuck those people. You trying to help
They're
yourself. You know
not.
what I'm saying?
They're not. Yo, my 6 o'clock crew is chill. Everybody be doing their own thing. It's all me in my head. And that's my point. It's a practice, right? The confidence doesn't come until you show up for yourself. And I feel like that consistently builds the machine. So that's what we're on the same wavelength here, buddy.
I just want to say this. Do not be scared to look stupid working out because you're working out. And it doesn't
Exactly.
even matter, because if you don't know how to do it right now, you're still trying to do something that's going to help you later. So, like, if you can just don't listen.
It's silly. I know.
Okay.
I know it's
So
silly. It doesn't even make any sense.
yesterday we had to do these stations. It was 9 stations. Like, it was like some weights at some stations, and we had to like do different exercises with the weights. And then they had that devil rope out, that rope that you do like this with. The
Yeah.
battle rope. I hate that rope, but they had that out, and then it was this square on the ground, and we had to sit our butt in and put our feet up, right? So like you're gonna do like these, but you're sitting up. You know what I'm saying? Your feet can't touch the ground. And actually it's just a Russian twist. Like, you have your feet up and you just over here and you're doing that, but your abs are holding you up the whole time. I was doing that and I felt like I was struggling to keep my feet up and to keep on doing this exercise to the point where I was breathing like a crazy person. And the lady came over there and recorded me because she walks around with the camera sometimes just to show people working out because she puts it on her Instagram, whatever. And I was just like, man, I hope that footage never makes it to Instagram because I
Right.
looked a fucking fool. But I
But
was
think about this
exercising. So
though.
I was like, I don't care if nobody, I did end up saying, I don't care if she puts it on there because I was working
But
out.
you
What were
know
you
what?
doing?
I
You know what I'm
always
saying?
get so inspired when I see people struggling because I'm like, that's me. Look. It's like it's so funny because like they'll put these pictures up of people like seriously obese people on the internet like working out and they'll be like walking or doing something like that might seem mild to somebody who's not that size, and I always get this feeling in my mind like that's right, go for it, you can do it. And I never look at them like they look stupid. I always just think like that's right, you can do it.
So
But when it
that's how
comes to
people are
me, I
looking
don't
at
think
you.
like that.
They never think that she looks stupid. The people that would say something like that or think like that, they probably ain't even working out. So fuck those people because when they
True.
see you, the next time you're gonna be looking better because you was working out. So yeah, like, but that's all with mindset too. You have to not care. You just have to not care. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I got to that
Right.
point when I joined this class because I was like, I have to try to do the exercises, and I can't just be over here just you know what I'm saying, cheating or whatever. And so, because you're just cheating yourself. So anyway, that's enough about that. I'm just excited. But it's, we're just gonna keep on going with our positive path and keep doing what we're doing.
Yes, I'm with it. Well, listen, as usual, this is a fabulous conversation. I'll be back next week to continue. And I'm
You're
sure there's so
stupid,
many more
man.
topics. There's so many topics that I actually was just thinking about. But we're gonna bring them back next week. And I think there was something I was supposed to be watching, and you're gonna tell me what that is because I can't remember. I think it
Are
was
you
like,
watching Ready to Love Miami?
so your mother called me and told me I needed
Oh
to watch.
Lord.
Actually, she didn't even tell me I need to watch it. She called me and started talking about it. Like, I can't believe so and so did this, and I was like, what? Who? And she was like, wait, you're not watching it? Like, I was like, oh,
She called me
I'm
and said
sorry.
something too. I was like, oh my God.
So I
So
got to get on that. But I
yes,
did
because it's
finish.
only episode 5. So
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna catch up on it, and next week we could definitely hit on that, and a couple other topics. But as usual,
yeah.
it was a great time talking to you, sister.
I always love our talks. I always love our talks. So thank you again for coming through. Thank everybody for coming through and sitting through our rambling. This is how we do. We're sisters. So I might start talking about something that she has another idea and then we just come, but we hear each other. It's just how we communicate. It works.
Yeah, keep
So
with it, guys. No, they're the same way.
anyway,
They be like that in the chat.
what is your let me get your YouTube page before I go.
Okay, yes. Okay, it's Yes I'm a Unicorn. So actually, let me
Hold
just
on.
give you the
I
link.
should have put it in the I didn't do a description today, so
No, it's
that's
all
why I
good.
put it in the
I think
thing.
you can go back and add it. But here's what's
Yeah, you're
funny.
right. I could go back and add it, but I want
I
people to know now. So stay. I was about to read that comment. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for next week for another episode of Those Two Sisters. Yes, Craig. Thank you very much. He actually texted me that this morning. He was like, "Guess
love
what I'm
it.
doing today?" I was like, "What?" Oh, or maybe he just said it. But anyway, all right. Let me get your
I
page
know
real
that's
quick.
right.
Yes, I'm a unicorn, right?
Yes, I'm a unicorn 24/7, and I'm gonna give you the link. But man, I got so many things to say. I did a video yesterday and my audio was jacked up, but I went live on both YouTube and Twitch. So that was really exciting. I had never
Okay.
done that before. So
You
but
can do it
I
on
gotta
YouTube
get my
and
audio
Facebook too.
together. What's that?
You can do that on YouTube and Facebook too.
Yeah, that was another option because I put all of my stuff into StreamYard, and I was gonna, but I didn't think I was ready for Facebook because I know so many people who would just join just because it's like, oh, Facebook Live, what's she doing?
Yeah, every time I see one of my Facebook friends live on YouTube, I always go in and mess with them. So this is her YouTube channel, y'all. Hopefully y'all can click on it. Did it come up as a link? Okay. But so we're gonna end this show now, and we're going to come back next week. We'll have some more topics. You guys can chime in the comments, and like I said, if you know any Black businesses that somebody else needs to know about, send me an email with their website or their Instagram, and I'll feature them in one of my videos because the best advertisement is word of mouth. So anyway,
Yes.
Do you have any last words for this week? Because
I just gotta say, everybody just go out there and be yourself. What's the worst that can happen?
you're still gonna have 10 fingers, you're still gonna have 10 toes,
Yep.
and you're still gonna be you. So anyway, all right.
Yeah, I
We'll
love
see
it.
y'all in the next video.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.